build it, he will.
It's the Skinny on Sports Podcast with Aaron Cowk.
I throw balls far. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Cowk with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Welcome back. Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM. The Sports Animal. Ryder's having a little difficulty, but he'll be with us here shortly. Technology is it's awesome in some ways, and it's not the greatest in others. But once he's available here, we'll get him on the horn. Yeah, just kind of recap what he's done over the past couple of months, dating back to the Class 4A state championship over in Weatherford. Individually, he was the champion, helped his Oklahoma Christian School team to be the champions. And that started this run that almost culminated in something that has never been done in amateur golf in the state of Oklahoma. He won the junior stroke play, the OGA junior, earlier in the summer. Then he went down to Duncan at the Territory and won the OGA stroke play, and then came up just short in the finals of the state am. Nobody had ever won the junior stroke play, the regular stroke play, and the state amateur in the same summer. And he came just whiskers shy, getting beat in the finals of the state am 2-1. But that led to then Monday qualifying for the U.S. Amateur, which will be up at Cherry Hills in Denver. He won a playoff for the third and final spot to get into that tournament. And so, man, the guy has just been on an unbelievable roll on the golf course as of late. And so we'll get him on the horn here. He's having just a little bit of phone trouble. But once he gets that, we'll be able to talk to him and let him tell you about his summer and how all those things have been going. Ricky Fowler, another guy that's been playing a lot of really, really good golf. I told you that he bogeyed number 18 to shoot 1 under par today. That has actually changed to a triple bogey. I guess he hit 2 out of bounds on the 18th hole. And so Ricky makes a triple bogey 8 on the par 5 18th to fall back to a 1 over par round. So, man, he had it going. He bogeyed the first hole, made 3 birdies, 15 and 17, and number 5 to get back to get himself to 2 under, playing the par 5 18th, and he comes away with a triple bogey 8. So Fowler back to 1 over. He finishes at 1 over instead of 1 under. They have redone that scoring. So tough break, tough way to finish. A really good round there for Ricky Fowler. So yeah, he finishes up at 1 over par instead of 1 under, as they've corrected his scorecard to reflect both of his tee shots going out of bounds on the 18th. So we'll keep you updated with that. I wonder, with Big 12 Media Days last week, SEC Media Days going on right now, it got me to thinking, okay, there's been tons of talk and tons of conversation about, is Oklahoma, is Texas ready for what's coming on the football field within the SEC? And I think that can be debated all that you want to debate it, but I also think the fans are going to have a huge adjustment. Before we get to that, though, I think we're going to have Ryder coming up here very shortly. All right, joining us now is a young man that has absolutely dominated on the golf course so far this spring, this summer. Joining us is Mr. Ryder Cowan. Ryder, you hear us? Oh, maybe on our end now. All right, you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. What an unbelievable spring and summer you have had, starting all the way back in the 4A state finals, winning not only yourself but your team, and then all the things you've done in the OGA. I want to take you back though. What have you guys been up to since you left Elk City and you guys moved to Edmond? Kind of give us an idea of how that's gone in those few years since you guys left.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on, first of all. But yeah, we've been. It was kind of a tough move because I was younger. I was around. I think I was 12, 13, and I didn't really know like how it would work. But we moved up here and we live on Oak Tree, and I get to play golf pretty much every day. So that it's nice, and my dad. It's easier for him to work. So for us to be up here is just more convenient, I guess. But it was definitely a tough move. I mean, all my friends, everyone was down in Elk City, everyone that I knew for, years. And so it was tough, but it worked, and it's been great up here. I mean, we like it a lot. It's great.
Yeah, I can remember just seeing you as a youngster out there playing here. Kind of tell us, you mentioned your dad. If people don't know, you come from a golfing family. It's obviously in your blood with your mom and dad both playing collegiately, your uncle playing collegiately, your grandpa's played forever, your grandma is one of the better women's amateurs in the state of Oklahoma for years. So it's always kind of been there. But how exactly did you get started, and kind of who were your influences growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my dad and my mom kind of just started me. I mean, I probably started I probably had a club in my hand when I was around 2, but I really started picking it up when I was around 7, 8, and I started tournaments when I was about 9. And yeah, Elk City, man, they helped me get to where I am today, man. I mean, if I didn't have that course, there'd be no way I would be where I am today.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I noticed just watching you at Weatherford a little bit, your putts always got to the hole, and I have to think that playing with Grandma Ann had to be a huge influence on getting putts to the hole.
Oh yeah, she doesn't like when I leave my birdie putts short. She likes to call me some names, and she sent me a text last night. She was like, "I'll be listening." I was like, "Okay." So she may be listening right now, but.
You played golf, but you also played other sports when you were here and going on. How do you think, and how much do you think that playing baseball, playing basketball, whatever it was, have helped you as you've matured into the game of golf?
Yeah, I mean, I played baseball, I played basketball, and I mean, it was tough because baseball and golf are like two different like swings, and I played them at the exact same time. So, like, when I would go to a baseball tournament, and then I'd have to leave and go to a golf tournament. So it was tough, but just like athleticism, I mean, like it helps so much, just being athletic and like being able to play different sports. I know college coaches, they look for that. Like, that's what they look for. Because that's how you find the most athletic. And I'm not saying that I am, because I just play golf now, but that's what they look for as well.
Speaking of college, at what point, as you matured in your golf game, did you start thinking, you know what, I'm getting pretty good at this, and I think this is something that I might be able to do moving past high school?
I would say, I mean, probably around my 7th, 8th grade year. I mean, I was probably 15, 14, 15, maybe 13. Coach Hibble came out to watch me some. He was one of the first coaches to ever come watch me. So that kind of got me in. We've always been OU fans, so that was kind of my motive for going there. But yeah, I'd probably say around 13 or 14.
So is this the best you've played in your life, this stretch maybe from the 4A state tournament to right now going into the USM?
For tournament-wise and, like, placement, yes. But I feel like I've hit the ball better. I've putted it better. Like, I still have some room to – I mean, there's always room to improve, right? But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I can still get better and just keep this stretch going. But it's definitely been a nice stretch. I've been working pretty hard, so it's been fun.
If someone asks you, what do you think is the strength of your golf game right now, what would you tell them?
Right now, I would say, I mean, I've always been a short game guy. I mean, literally, Elk City, I used to spend hours on that chipping green. I mean, I love chipping. I love putting. So I would say my short game is. But, you know, some days it is, sometimes some days it's not, right? I mean, you go play Southern Hills, and then you're like, well, I'm not as good as I think I am. But no, I would say I'm a short game guy.
You've had some pretty unbelievable experiences in your young life in the game of golf. If I had to say, okay, what is the coolest thing you've done in golf? What would you tell me?
Oh man, let's see. The coolest thing, I mean, honestly, can I say in a couple weeks when I go to the USAM, like that's probably one of the coolest experiences I'll probably ever have. But I mean, going to Augusta, that one was nice. That was a cool experience as well. But yeah, there's been quite a few. There's been a few. So I've been lucky enough to have those.
You went to Augusta, drive, chip, and putt championship. There's a whole bunch of people listening right now that can't even fathom walking out on that 18th green and hitting a couple putts. Describe that feeling and describe that experience for the folks listening when you're putting a putt that you've seen a couple of guys make to win the Masters.
Oh yeah, it was a surreal moment, man. I mean, it's like, even because we start with the drive, and the drive, like, you step out there and there's so many people just watching. Like, I think that may be the most nervous I've ever been. Like that, it's crazy. Like, just thinking about, like, all the chips and all the balls and all the, I mean, on 18 green, like Tiger, how many times has he won there? And then he won that year. So, I mean, it was really a surreal moment.
You mentioned OU, and Coach Hibble was kind of the first guys. What was it about Oklahoma and golf at OU that attracted you and made you decide that's where you wanted to play in college?
Well, yeah, I would say OU, because I was in deciding factor of OU and OSU. OU was more. I know all the guys from OU, and they're like family to me. I played golf with them since I've been young. I mean, so it's been nice, and it'll be nice, like, just knowing them. So just the more family side of that, that's kind of what got me. But I mean, we've always been OU fans our whole entire lives, our family, and so that helps as well.
If it would have went the other way, could you have talked some of those folks in that family to wearing the orange and black? Oh,
they definitely would have wore some orange and black for me, but I don't know if they would have been the happiest. But I mean, no, they would have wore orange and black with a smile on their face wherever I went. I mean, it didn't really matter, but they would have supported me.
Do you have any idea how much will the move to the SEC is a big thing right now in football, but obviously everybody else is too. Do you have any idea how that might change kind of the schedule that you guys will play once you get to Norman?
Yeah, I haven't really heard much because, I mean, we still have this year, but I mean, the schedule is going to look for golf. I mean, it's not like football. There's not. I mean, we don't play like Alabama, LSU. It's more like we enter tournaments and, like, we're playing whoever's entering in the tournament, right? So technically right now we could be playing like Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Georgia Tech, and we're not even in the SEC. What's really going to change is it's just going to be the conference championship. So instead of the Big 12 championship, will be the SEC championship. So that's going to be the main thing that changes, I think.
When you mentioned the USAM coming up in a couple of years, when exactly is it, and where? Tell everybody where you'll be playing.
Yeah, it is the 14th, August 14th through the 20th, and it's Cherry Hills in Colorado. So I've heard that course is very nice, and it's a great place. So I'm excited to get out there.
What do you got to do between now and then to be prepared as much as you possibly can be to not only be there, but then get yourself in the stroke play or into the match play and have a chance to win the thing?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot. I mean there's preparation for every week and every tournament. So, but this is a bigger one, so I have to figure out a lot of stuff. I mean, all the numbers, I have to get all my numbers figured out because the altitude, I mean, it's all different there, right? The ball's going to fly further. I think it's like they're 5,400 feet, and we're about 1,100. So I think it's 2% for every 1,000 feet. So, I mean, technically that's like 8.5%. And, I mean, that's a lot of percent when you're hitting a ball and you're expecting to go one distance and it goes 8.5% more. So I got to figure all that out. And but it'll be fun. I mean, I'm excited.
Who's going to caddy for you?
We haven't figured that out yet. We've been trying to figure that out. I know my uncle has some connections up there. So, and the real thing is all my friends like Brian, everyone, they're all going to school. So, because it's right in that little window. So, it's unfortunate, but I'll find someone and it'll be good.
Who do you like this week in the Open Championship? Yeah. I know that you mentioned getting to play golf at Oak Tree. I was hanging out with your grandma the other night on July the 4th, and she was like, "Yeah, he's been talking about playing golf with some kid named Javi," and I was like, "Ann, that's Victor Hovland. It's not his first name,
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've got a soft spot in your heart for him this week. But who else do you like going into the last major?
I do. I always. I mean, I get to. Luckily, I mean, I get to play with Javi some, and I always have that. I want Javi to win all of them, but I mean, this week after the first round scores I saw this morning, honestly, I want Jordan Spieth to win.
Okay, a Longhorn, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've always been a Jordan Spieth fan my whole life, so we're just gonna dismiss the Longhorn situation and just go. But no, I hope. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, he's won a couple times, but major wise, I mean, I hope he comes back and I hope he wins.
So there's an amateur at the top of the leaderboard, Christo Lamprecht. Do you have any? Have you come across him in your travels?
I saw that. I haven't watched much, but I saw that this morning. I opened the app and I saw that, but I have never heard of him. I don't know how he got in or what's the situation there, but I know there's a lot of exemptions and ways you can get in. I mean, if you win different tournaments, British Am, whatever. But yeah, I haven't heard of him.
All right, last question. USAM coming up. As you move through it, you mentioned the exemptions and what comes with success in that. Do you think that crosses your mind at all? If once you get into, say, the quarterfinals, trying to get to the semifinals to end up qualifying for some of these majors or even into the finals, do you think that would cross your mind, or are you just so focused on winning the trophy that you're there to play for?
Oh no, 100% it's crossing your mind, no doubt about it. But in golf, like. It's kind of a weird game because you just have to not think about it. Like it's it's the weirdest thing ever, because you have to practice like you care so much, and then you have to go play in a tournament like you care nothing at all. So it's like in the same situation. I mean, it's like when you have whatever the exemptions are, the Masters, the whatever on the line, you just kind of have to ignore it somehow, figure it out, and keep moving. But no, it'll be fun. I'm excited, and hopefully, I mean, maybe I can make it.
No, that'd be awesome. Real last question: how are the Sooners going to be in football this year?
Oh man, well, the 2024 schedule came out, and I'll tell you how I think we're going to be next year. But I don't know, actually. I mean, I feel like we're going to be better than we were last year, but I don't think we're going to be, like, great yet. I think we have potential to be great, but we have I'm going to say we're going, like, how many games are they playing this year? Like
12.
12?
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 8-4.
Oof.
I don't know. That may be a stretch. 7-5 maybe.
Oof.
I don't know. I think it's going to be around that range.
That's not going to be good. If you're right, that's not going to be good with that schedule in 2024, because it's going to get a lot harder than what they have to play this year.
We got I looked at it, and we have Alabama at home. I haven't looked at it thoroughly, but I mean, I know we're playing all the big schools, and so it'll be interesting next couple of years.
No doubt about it. Hey, Ryder, thank you so much for joining us, catching up. I know there's a lot of people out here that have been following you since you guys moved up there and really pulling hard for you coming down the stretch of all these tournaments. And, of course, in a couple weeks up to the USAM, everyone will be watching and hoping to see you end up on the TV as that tournament moves throughout the match play portion.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on, and thank you guys.
No, you bet. It's Ryder Cowan, OGA star, Oklahoma University signee. He'll be up there in the fall playing for Coach Hibble and the Sooners. But first, the USAM coming up at Cherry Hills in Denver on the August 14th through the 20th. A couple of stroke play rounds, get yourself in the match play, and then 64 team bracket from there. So, man, he's played unbelievable golf throughout the summer, and hopefully that continues when he gets up there to Cherry Hills. That was fun. A lot of fun for a guy that grew up here, catching up with him and his success. That'll do it for today. When we come back tomorrow, Scotty G will be here. It's a Garrettson Financial Friday. Sure will have some thoughts on all things SEC football with those media days going on down there the year before the Sooners get there. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a wonderful Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow on the Skinny on Sports.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cowan. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered